What is going on, everybody? It is Quarterback HD here, and I am back with another video. And today we are going to be doing episode 2 of Recruiting 101, a series where I share with you all the tips that I learned during my recruiting process. Today we are going to be talking about how to create a football recruiting profile on Twitter. So as I said in my previous video, Twitter is the most important platform for football recruiting, in my opinion, if you don't want to spend money on the expensive recruiting websites. Personally, I would recommend Twitter over any of these recruiting websites because it's free for you and the coach. It doesn't require any sign up besides, a simple email. And it's the best way to reach out to coaches and get responses. If you haven't seen my first video, I'll put the card up here, or there, I'll put the card up there, whichever way you'll see it, which will go over the top 5 ways of how to get recruited in 2021. I almost forgot the year, but today we're going to start off with how to create your Twitter bio. So if you're unfamiliar with Twitter, there's your name, profile picture, and banner, and there's bio, which is like like a regular Instagram bio, Facebook bio. And it's really important for you to put specific things in your Twitter bio. So I recommend 9 different things to create or to put into your Twitter bio. So number 1 will be height and weight, city and state, high school, GPA, test scores, your star ranking if you have one, notable achievements. Try to make them short, so all state, all conference, conference MVP, a notable max for weightlifting, and then for your website, you'll put your HUDL link so people can just go to your Twitter bio, click on your HUDL, and start watching your highlight tape. I will put a template up here, an image of what order you should do it in, kind of in the order that I listed: height, weight, city and state, high school, GPA, etc. And try to keep it short. So try to not put, North Carolina, put NC, and put, 6'3" FT instead of, spelling out foot, just so you can put all this information there without running out of space. Also, be prepared to, change this. If you gain weight in the off season, putting on some muscle, be able to change your weight. If you get a test score back, like your SAT, you can put that in there. Like, I didn't have an SAT score in my, bio in the fall. And then once I took the SAT, I added it in there. And I got a lot more traction because they saw my test score, in my bio, and they knew that I had taken it. So definitely update it as much as you can, especially with those test scores. You get a higher max, or you switch high schools, of course. That is very, very important, so it's up to date with all your new info. The next part I'm going to talk about is how to attract attention. It's pretty simple. It's kind of self-explanatory in a way. It's kind of just a super easy way to. It's just follow a bunch of coaches. When you get a follow on Instagram, it will say blank has followed you, and they're going to see that on their Twitter feed, and they're going to say, Tanner Null has followed you. They'll click on your page. They want to see who you are, and if they see that you are a player that they would like to recruit, they'll most likely follow you back. So that is a perfect way to start the communication between coaches and players, is get that follow them and get that follow back. Some coaches will DM you if they see that you follow them, stuff like that. But one thing that's very important is there's a thing with Twitter to where some people have their DMs open to people that they don't follow back. So if you follow a coach and he doesn't follow you back, there is a kind of an envelope emoji on his Twitter bio, which means you can DM him before he follows you back. So take advantage of that. If you follow a coach and he doesn't follow you back, still take advantage of that opportunity to send him a DM and tell him about yourself. But once a coach follows you back, in every circumstance, the DM to him will be open. So as soon as he follows you back, I would DM him as quick as possible and let him know that you're interested in your program. I'll go over a little bit later on what to say in that message. But once he follows you back and you get that notification, I would immediately DM him a message about you and your recruiting profile. Another thing to do, which is a little bit cheesy, but I found that certain things I wouldn't do on Instagram, like on my personal account, I should do on my Twitter to garner attention. On Instagram, you wouldn't go to your crush's Instagram page and 4 of her photos, but on Twitter, if the coach that you want to reach out to or you want him to follow you back or garner the attention of has tweeted 3 things in the past week, I would like all those. It's a little bit cringy, but again, it shows up on his phone. It shows that blank has liked your photo, Blake has liked your tweet, so it'll grab their attention. Now, do not overuse this. I'm not trying to say, go like every single one of his tweets, because once a coach sees that, I don't think that's gonna encourage him to reach out to you. Maybe like 1 or 2 of his recent ones, just to show that you were looking at his page and interested. Don't go like 20 of them. That's a little bit overkill. But like the first 2 or the 2 most recent or the 3 most recent, something like that. All right. So we talked about following. We talked about liking posts. We talked about DMing. We talked about DMing once they follow you back. Now we're going to talk about a big thing, and it's what to post. This is one of the best ways to garner attention on Twitter, is to post things, because it goes directly to their feed and they can watch videos, photos, whatever they need to look at on your profile. So things to post. I would cut up short clips of your highlight film. So that first 10, 15 seconds, that is your best plays. Screen record that and post it to Twitter. I put I think my first 3 plays of my film on, and that showed my best plays of the season, which attracted attention and interest from these coaches. Another thing is drills. If you can film your practice doing 4-cone drills, ladder drills, position specific drills, that would be great. Definitely recommend doing that, especially if it's a Saturday and you don't have any game film. Go to your high school, put up your camera, and sorry, I was fixing my phone, and run some drills, film it, and then chop it up and put it on Twitter. Also, updated transcripts. This happened with me a lot because my transcript at the beginning of my junior year wasn't looking very stellar. Throughout the year, when my grades improved, straight A quarter. If you have trimesters, one of your trimesters was straight A's or a couple B's, I would post that just to show the, your high academic or mid academic athlete. Post videos of your max squat. If you max out your squat, max out your bench, deadlift, something like that, that is very impressive. Definitely post that. That'll show your strength and that you're serious about the weight room. One thing that I did, which you can do if you want, is post acceptance letters. I probably applied to half schools for football and half schools for just strictly academic, and some of these higher academic D3s will look at me and think, oh, he can get into that school, it's a pretty good school, and he can most likely get into our school if we wanted him to come as well. If you go to a visit, I know I went to a school in DC, and I posted pictures of that, thanks to blank for the visit. It'll show appreciation to the coach that brought you on the visit, but it will also show to the other coaches that you are actively being recruited by other programs and that you are a college football caliber athlete. If you go to a camp, prospect camp, 7-on-7, post your highlights there. Get your parents or one of your friends to film you when you go up and do a drill at a camp. That is very, very, very valuable, because you have that free time, or not that free time, but you have that opportunity to showcase your skills in a public setting. So going to camps will be great for coaches to see you, 7-on-7 as well, but also when you can record it and transfer that over to Twitter so that the coaches that didn't go to the camp or the 7-on-7 tournament can see those for themselves. One thing that I did is I took all of that and I combined it in one short video. I put my SAT score up really quick, a screenshot of that, some of my highlights, some drills that I did, and my transcript really quick, probably a 1-minute video. I think 1 minute is the max. And I put all that into one video and posted that, and I pinned it in my profile. Post regularly. I wouldn't post every single day, but maybe post twice a week. If you do a certain workout on Monday and you're gonna max out on Tuesday, or you're gonna do some drill specific stuff on Saturday, kind of schedule that to where, hey, I'm gonna go into the field and do some drills. I'm gonna film it and post it this time. Keep it up to date, because you want your feed and your content to be constantly on these coaches' feeds and in their Twitter, so that they can see you and evaluate you through that way. So that is gonna do it for this video. We talked about how to create a Twitter, what to put in your bio. We talked about what to post, how to post, and when to post. We also talked about how to attract attention from following coaches, DMing them, liking their photos and stuff like that, commenting on their photos. All these things can be very, very effective for your recruiting process. So I encourage you, take the time to create a Twitter profile. Take the time to follow coaches that you like to play for, like their tweets, DM them, stuff like that, to get your name across to them. I promise you, once you start doing this and become good at it, at selling yourself and marketing yourself to these coaches, it will pay off with interest in the future. So the next video, we're going to be talking about what to say to coaches, especially on a phone call, because I know for me, when I had my first phone call with a coach, I was petrified. So we're going to talk about that next episode. So if you want to know about that, stay tuned, subscribe, and like this video, and I'll have that video out in the next week or two. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Quarterback HD signing off. Peace.